This property fits a lot of different really important criteria that make it important for conservation.
What made this site the most attractive and the #1 ranked priority for this grant was the fact that it is such a high quality, important biological resource.
The Garvey Farm is really strategically located to many urban areas. It's kind of centrally located, and it's located near really good transportation strategies as well.
His just initial studies of the site, they have a ranking where they look at the number of native species and give it a score to give it a sense, and it's sort of a sense of like, is it an okay, or is it good, or is it high quality? And the scores that came out of there said it was up here.
Its proximity to Lake Michigan and to the Black River itself, that proximity makes the types and ranges of habitats for birds and insects and flora to be as diverse as any habitats in the state of Michigan.
We have low-lying wet swamp forests of very high quality. We have upper, higher level beech maple forests. We also have oak influenced in dry areas. The hydrology of this site is such as that we have every gradient.
And certainly some extraordinarily conservative native plants that have been identified in the property. In fact, one species of bee, I believe, that is known to be endemic to Michigan, but has not been cited either for some time or rarely has it been cited. It was found on this property.
Where we actually have elements of northern forests and elements of southern forests meeting. So you go down to the bottomlands here, you have tulip trees and sycamore trees that you can't wrap your arms around that speak to the southern forest. But you also have these slopes of hemlock, which speak to the northern forests out here. So it's a wonderful blending, which just adds more to the species richness.
One of the major flyways, of course, from Central America and Mexico up through the northern parts of the United States, where these birds nest and breed over the summer before they return back to warmer climates for the winter. That geographic context right up along the edge of Lake Michigan, just like it is here in the Chicago area, these are significant flyways. And they're not just significant flyways for waterfowl and the types of birds that people hunt, but they're extraordinarily significant flyways for migratory songbirds and other rare birds. And so there are some very rare birds, and it's a natural flyway corridor, and it sits right in the middle of that.
Specifically, the Garvey Farm, it has ample supplies of water, and being on the western shores of Lake Michigan, it has a similar microclimate that you would find in the state of California. The soils also tend to be very acid, and the azalea group of plants, which include blueberries, love to grow in that type of soil. So there's a soil that's favorable to certain families of plants. There's plenty of access to water. The other uniqueness of the Garvey Farm is it's strategically located to urban centers. And one of the things that we find in looking at farms around the country is that if you're located close to an urban center, and by that I mean where the transportation still works to make just-in-time delivery of fresh market produce off a farm, you have a distinctly different financial strategy than if you're located where you're not logistically connected to an urban area.
Well, we're certainly hopeful, and we've made some initial contact with the Pokagon Band of the Potawatomi. This was their cultural heritage, geographically speaking, and believe that their involvement could be very critical, helping to expand an understanding of those cultural relationships between the human being and all other living things and the practices of the native people. And we would like to get them involved. in the restoration and stewardship of the land, and hopefully, if they're interested, at some degree of involvement in the village.
I'm excited by all the partnership opportunities that this property has, because not only do we have an excited neighbor and donor who's been very engaged in helping this be possible as a project, but the community is embracing it. We have the city of South Haven, which is very engaged in trail development in the area. We have the Bangor to South Haven Heritage Water Trail Association managing a canoe trail right down through here in the along the Black River. We have the Lake Michigan College is just a few miles down the road, and they're very interested in having this property available for research. We have a local conservation district holding workshops out here to help demonstrate land management. Everyone is interested and engaged. We're in a community that cares about these sorts of issues and is excited to have the opportunity to participate. And we're excited to embrace all those different people coming in to experiment and learn and enjoy.